Hey everybody, it's me, V, the CVS Scholar, and I'm back with another watch along, review, react, whatever you want to call it, for Love is Blind Season 2. As you know, we've been on a wild ride. We saw the weddings, we saw who chose to say yes and who chose to say no. Before I get into all that, thank you for joining me. I'm so happy you came to spend some time with me, hang out, so we can watch what's happening with this show. I hope this video finds you full of love and happiness and totally blessed and healthy. I'm finally back healthy, so I'm jumping back on this camera for y'all. Before I take out these braids, yes, I'm telling my business. So with that being said, I'm going to say what couples stayed together and what couples didn't. And this will definitely have spoilers because I'm about to watch this show along with you guys. You guys can put it on yourselves and see how it actually went, and you can leave comments. Let me know what you think about how this reunion went. It's the reunion, and the couples that stayed together or said yes were Danielle and Danielle crazy ass and Nick sweaty ass. Then we have Depty and Shake, who she embarrassed his ass at the altar, and he deserved it, and try to play it off. And then Mallory and Salvador, the singing pompadour, just oh, so let me you all that whatever the hell he got going on with that damn ukulele. That I hope he do not pull out that ukulele during this reunion. I'm gonna have a whole damn moment. And then we have Ayana and Jared, big, fine, thick, sexy, like I like them. They tied the knot, and then we have fake Gary Busey and Natalie. Fake Gary Busey name. What the hell is his name again? Shane and them damn teeth. Natalie left his ass at the altar, but I heard they still together. But we gonna see on this reunion. So I thought none of the couples were gonna work. Work with me because I'm jumping back on this camera after a very, very long time of not being on this camera. Forgive me, y'all. Had to get myself together. So I'm gonna click this button on this real good Netflix that I paid for and get this episode started. All right, season 2, episode 11, the reunion. Go ahead and let's see what they're working with today. Let's see if they, do what they're supposed to do. Hear that nice little Netflix sound. Hopefully that shit ain't copyrighted. So, put it low enough so it's not a. Okay, we got Nick Lachey and his boo Vanessa Lachey. Oh, the glittery. Ooh, I do not like how they dress for this reunion. They look cheap. Anyways, if you don't know the premise of the show, they go in cubes, they get to know each other without seeing each other, then they decide they're gonna propose, and then they go to a nice little honeymoon trip. Oh, look at little Jared kissing on Ayana. That's so nice. Miss Second Choice. Either way, hopefully they worked out. And she wearing braids like me. She cute. Black queen. And then they decide that they're gonna get married at the end, and they have to get dressed up to go see if they're gonna get dumped or not. So asking, oh, Mallory look pretty. Mallory says she's feeling good. Shayna says she's nervous. I don't like Shayna. Oh, Shake said I'm nervous about how we getting edited. I'm gonna say whatever on everybody's mind. We're bye. So they said, here's your opportunity to clear the air. He said we're not supposed to fight. He said fight with them. Ooh, they said that was a low blow. You went straight to victim mode right away. Ooh, Shake said I'm not a victim, baby. He said that's what you sounded like. Whoa. Ooh. Oh, Deputy said you're gonna go on a platform where you're gonna be ridiculed. Oh. Deputy look like she wanna. I'll be mad too the way he talked about her and her body like a dog. Nobody wants to see this recap. Oh, they said we saw what everybody else saw, and now we're here with you today. And the fans really dug in and really want to know more about one person who made her feelings known in the competition early was Natalie. All right. Natalie looking stern. I heard you went back. Shayna, you had strong feelings for Shane. What was it like hearing Natalie brag about her connection to Shane right in front of you? She said it was just awkward because obviously it was very strong between Natalie and Shane. And so I wanted to be respectful. It's just very awkward. Shane just look, he be looking, he look like he, I ain't, look, allegedly. You see the thing on the bottom of my screen? Allegedly. They say you came in all beaming and happy to Shayna. And then you hear that. Shit, she was talking to Kyle, so she was soaking in the whole experiment. They don't show Kyle elfin looking too. Oh, she said it was her biggest regret with Kyle, but she think it worked out. They chose each other, and that's how it's supposed to be. What's meant to be is to be at the end of the day. Oh, here comes Shane. How you doing, buddy? She ain't be looking. Boy, Shane, them damn crazy eyes and teeth. Well, he talked about the moment that he mistakenly thought Natalie was Shayna, but opposed to apologizing response was kind of turn around and gasp like her, yes. He said yes. That was easily the biggest mistake I made on the show. I played the victim card right away and tried to defend myself. That was, as a man, that's not what you want to do. Tell the rest of these Negroes. I personally felt attacked because we're listening through a tiny little microphone through the wall. You hear it differently. But I definitely 100% regret, and I'm honestly ashamed of the fact that I just went in straight attack mode. I really wish I would have just let her speak as she should have. Yeah, 100%. It's embarrassing. It is. I recognize it. Kyle said we all did it. Kyle, we all did it. I've done it. It was a tough situation I was in. Ooh. But Shane says no excuse for it to happen. I'm also curious just why you would take the approach, Natalie, to be your girlfriend if you were so interested in exploring other connections. Yes, please. Shane said, I got caught up in the moment of the situation. I felt like I needed to, and I wanted to, I guess, assert her, like, this is where I stand and whatnot, and that's the way I did it. I should not have said that either. She knew she was my number one. Oh, but still saying the girlfriend comment was completely unnecessary. Ooh. Vanessa says she knows that different people bring out different things in you, right? And I just noticed whenever you would flirt and talk to Natalie, it definitely seemed more of a deeper level. But I also noticed the way you would flirt with Shayna. It was like, what are you wearing? Yeah, he was trying to be freaky without fail. What are you wearing? And she's like, crop tops. Vanessa said it was different. Yeah, he said I had a different dynamic going on with both of them, 100%. One was, yes, I'm having fun. And the other one's like, I'm dating. And he said the point is to find your wife. So I literally stopped. I didn't change my mind last minute or anything like that. I wanted to explore both situations because they're both completely different. And it was like I really had to figure out which one, I guess. That's not what I meant by that. Oh, Shake said, can I say something? Sorry to interrupt you. Why, Shake? This show doesn't want to lose a thought. I'm sorry, but this show is about finding a wife. Really, Shake? Who cares? I don't think that's true. The show is about finding love, okay? What? And the way I see it, as long as she can get on your shoulders. All right, I would like that. I stand by that. Size 0. Really? Thank you, but I stand by that. We all have our preferences. What? This show is about finding love, not about finding a wife. Shake need to get punched in his goddamn throat. He's just trying to be a villain on TV. Like skipping steps, like, 3 to 20 to get to the end goal. Ayana's like, that's the point of the show. Jared's like, that's not what the show is about. But Shake said that's not the takeaway I had. It's a reasonable takeaway. Shake's a douche. I'm sorry. Oh, Deputy said he thinks he looked better. Let him speak. He said, I'm thankful for it. It didn't end a marriage. Jared, the premise is the connection is strong enough to marry the person that you have the connection with. I'm not going to put in a box where I have to do that. That's what Shake said. Vanessa said, let's move on. Shake came on here for TV, y'all. Anyways, back to Shane. You talked to Shane in one way, and you talked to Natalie a different way. Everybody saw it in the pause. It's when Shane thought you were going to propose to Natalie. By surprise, you had a different visitor with revelation. By surprise. So let's take a look. Are they going to show it? Shayna will make a face. Anyway, Shayna, I just want to know I have deep feelings for you. Look, Shane got his head down. I do envision a life together. I honestly do care about you a lot. Deputy looking crazy. Natalie looking crazy. Shane looking stressed. Shane don't put his head down in the current time. It's like we wasted so much fucking time the last 2 days talking. I wish you would have said that. Oh, so now look at see. Now I know. I felt the same way. I took a back seat and regretted it. That's what Shayna said. My pride definitely got in the way. Shane arg. Yee. This is when he had his breakdown. She's like, I know, I'm really sorry. And he's like, F, I don't know what to do or think right now. God. Well, how Natalie gonna feel about that, Lord? Shane, hold head down. You done changed a whole nother cover. Nick Michelle saying, how you feel about watching that for the first time? Natalie said, I definitely felt like betrayed by both Shane and Shayna, quite honestly. And Shayna gonna shake her head, yeah. The fact Shayna said, if you told me 2 days earlier, it could have been, potentially different. That's not something. It's not something he was telling me. I felt like by the last set of days, he assured me it was just going to be me. It was only me. So seeing that there could have been a change if he explored another connection was really hard. But I think with you, Shayna, what you had told me was you walked in saying you were supportive of our relationship. Girl, you used to like him and that was it. Bullshit. Ooh, seeing that makes me feel like you're being dishonest. It's really tough. Shayna said, I'm sorry for that. I am. Ooh, Vanessa said, when you saw how torn he was for the first time, she said it was something I was truly not aware of. Shane said that was one biggest day of my life going into it, and I literally thought I was going to come into a room proposing to my girl, and someone else in that room literally punched me right in the face. I literally blacked out when it happened, everything that went down, okay? I've been crucified for this situation. I could have handled it definitely differently. Oh, Shayna was giving it a little shady eye, but no one knows what it feels like going in there. The whole mindset was focusing on proposing to Natalie the whole time. And then I hear Shayna's voice, and we haven't talked for days. I'm like, I'm not mad about the situation, but it was my day with Natalie. I was upset about the fact that I got effed up with my mind a little bit. He said that's just who I am. But I wish that's just Natalie says not a very good point. Kyle said, can we talk about why that meeting was even a thing? Why did that happen? I would tell you, Vanessa said, speaking of Kyle, you were totally looking to, since you want to be in the conversation, there was one more person involved. Let's take a look back at Kyle and Shayna's proposal. Damn, Shayna and them damn teeth. Them veneers don't be hitting the way y'all think they be hitting. I'm sorry. Oh, here one Kyle said, you remind me so much of my mother. She was very religious. Look, Shane is laughing and Kyle elfin ass. Is Shane, why is Shane tweaking like that? What the hell? Okay, Kyle said, so Shayna, will you marry me? Shayna should have never accepted that thing. She knows she wasn't feeling that man. She needed to stop. My face. And she accepted for what? Knowing she was going to take him around her family and it was going to be mess. So Nick Lachey said, I know you're ready to speak. I'm just curious. What was your reaction to Shayna's face when you finally saw the video? What do you think was happening on the other side of that wall? We're actually making your proposal. I felt like she could have said no, duh. I didn't sense hesitation, but looking back, she seemed very hesitant. And then obviously seeing the meeting with Shane, that blew my mind. I didn't see that one coming. Nick said, when do you find out that she actually had the meeting with Shane after your proposal? When I saw it, Shake, you didn't know about it months ago. Kyle said, I don't understand the point of the meeting. So I thought it was like, I thought you just needed to loose and tied up. But I didn't think it was literally asking him, like, this is your last chance. Not at all. She said, not at all, not my intention. You use me as a backup. She said, no, I didn't. And you were seeing if he would flip last second to ask to marry him you instead of Natalie. Ooh, she said, are you telling me how I felt? I'm confused. He said, I told you what happened. So the fact you're playing this face, why did you want the meeting with Shane? She said, honestly, looking back on it, I should have said no right away to you. 100%. Oh, but I did feel very to your head. 100% actually do take full ownership. I could have avoided a bunch of drama. He's like, yeah, 100% I'm owning that. Woo! Because I would never think to do that to you. I mean, I would never think, oh, I just got engaged, but let me give me one more try with somebody else. Sure, I wasn't giving her a try. It was part of my process. Again, this was an experiment. I didn't know what I was feeling. She said I couldn't move forward. The odds were better unless I was honest with Shane, which again, I apologize to Natalie. I'm so sorry I downplayed the situation to you. I wish I would have been more forthright again. Being more forthright, I own that 100%. So you own it 100%, make everything all right? When I said yes, I think I just felt very confused in the pod, okay? Ooh, I felt a little manipulated by you bringing your mother's engagement ring. How special you should have felt. I would be so honored. That means I wouldn't go through it though, because I can't wear your mother's engagement ring. Like, I don't know. He's like, that's ridiculous. She said, I own it though. Shane ain't shit, y'all. I could avoid a lot by just saying no. Definitely should have said no. She said, I was very confused. I did have feelings for you. It's not like I didn't care about you. I'm sorry that I led on more than it should have. I'm sorry. Shake said, can we say out the record that the drive to continue on the show was the driving factor, I think. Shake, you ain't for you, Kyle. And he's like, not for me yet. Why everybody giving him a fake? Ooh, like off the record, bitch. We on a reunion. Oh, she said, Shannon said, if it was for appearance, it would look way more better if I would have said no. Oh, Shane is horrified by what Shake is saying. I can't believe the words that's coming out of his mouth. He said, I keeps it real. And Shane said, no, that's not real. That's just bad. It's just bad, man. You got to stop. He said, I'm going to tell all. I'm going to say what everyone's thinking at home. Danielle said, nobody's thinking that. I done myself a big favor. Do not put me in your words at all. Oh, Shane going off. Ever. Oh, Nick said, I unfollowed you because you were so unbearable. Everybody thinks the same way as you. And that's the problem. No one thinks the way you think. No one. Oh, Nick said you hurt people. Oh, Shake said if I may say one statement, hopefully I'll shut up after that. And Danielle said, please don't. I think I would like if I shut up after the statement, right? Danielle said, no, please stop. He said, listen, I'll be honest with you guys. This has been an incredible experience. This is Shake Ass. But I've had a very tough time taking it seriously. Oh. Salvador said that's not our experience in the experiment. It's still an experiment, but we all had our own experience. You can't speak for everybody. Ooh. Shake said, I was just hoping for a moment in time to say mine, I know, but you're interrupting a lot of people and hurting a lot of people right now. You're not even involved. Nick L said there's no right or wrong way, zero right, wrong. If they found it, they're happy for the rest of their lives. Shake's like, absolutely. Vanessa like, I'll take a beat. I want to know if it's safe to say for the moment we have moved on from the quadfecta, I guess. Is that what you want to call it? It was a triangle, quadfecta, square. But y'all good because I'm about to bring up another love triangle. Oh, Vanessa said she loved the hair. Me too. Like, man, he said, you look beautiful. You're already beautiful on the inside. Then we saw you beauty on the outside. She said, thank you. You saw a lot of things for the first time. What was it like for you to see, watch the I Was Going to Proposal episode when you saw it in real time? I honestly, I won't say hurtful just because I kind of knew something like that could happen, but extremely awkward, almost re-traumatizing. Oh, Ayana said she couldn't watch it with him together. At the end of, Jared said at the end of the experiment, we were put in this box, we were opening up and being vulnerable. We all know who could potentially make connections and strong connections. Thank God he cut his hair for this. He ain't cut it for the wedding. He looked good. Anyways, Jared said I was open and honest with her. I let her know, even though I did this, there would never ever be a chance where you'll feel like you're a runner-up or second place to nobody. Vanessa said, look, I'm a second wife, so his journey led to me, he's my person. I never thought I would be someone's second wife. That's Vanessa Lachey speaking. You know what I mean? I found this guy, this is how it's supposed to be. This is how our love story is supposed to pan out. Then we add the physical layer. Then you get to see people, you're like, oh my gosh. And there was a moment when Jared and Mallory finally had a chance to meet in person. They're going to talk about that messy ass talk, and it turns out that all that glitters wasn't gold. Let's watch. Or they're going to show that conversation. They're showing how Jared and Mallory were talking and how they were better fit for each other and about that gold ring. She's talking about how people don't know how to make her a priority. Say, hey, you're a bad bee, and like you're beautiful. Let me do things for you. Like you're gorgeous. He said, I don't even need that. He said, I knew that. He said, I would have did that. She said, you're amazing. Y'all remember that bullshit, that shady shit? And Ayana was over there looking lost and crazy. She said, listen, Jared Bear. And he said, listen, Mal, they're calling each other pet names. He said, that's a nice ring. That's not the ring you wanted. She said, I know. You wanted gold. Yeah, that's when he was throwing that shade. He said, it's so funny. You don't like that ring? I know you don't. You like gold rings, don't you? She said, I do. And laughed. Mm-hmm. This was that shady talk. I know you know because I asked you. Okay. Shady. Vanessa, okay, well now, I feel like the ass. Because I asked you to watch it with him. And you said no. And here we're all putting it on blast together. What was it like for you, Ayana, that part? Because you were also there and then you heard after the fact everything that was said. She said that part was particularly hurtful. Everything pre-proposal was like, I completely understand. Everything after was extremely hurtful for me to watch. Oh, she looked hurt, boy, all in her eyes. Nickel, have you and Mallory ever discussed that? Ayana said we spoken. But if I'm honest, like none of my anger went towards Mal. It all went towards Jared because he's my partner. He's the one who owes me loyalty. Mal doesn't owe me anything. I was pretty upset. You guys talked about it. It was definitely a very inappropriate conversation. Jared saying this. I think that at that point I had chosen Ayana and I was very safe in my choice. And having that conversation should have never happened, or I could have tailored it in a different way. And I definitely want to apologize for making it look like making you look crazy. I never want to do that ever again. Oh, Lord. And that conversation should have never happened. Ayana said, thank you. Oh, Nicole said it's uncomfortable to watch even sitting next to y'all. It was like a chapter 2 in a book that you guys are still writing. And we'll write the rest of your lives. But I do have to ask Sal because you were the fourth counterpart in that equation. How did watching that make you feel? Salvador said, it was really uncomfortable, guys. That was disrespectful of you all. Either one of you could have stopped that conversation immediately. But Jared, appreciate you saying those things too. But it was a fucking joke. It was 100% a joke. Then why? It was an appropriate joke for sure, but it was a joke. Cool, man. It would have been nice to know that though. Jared said, I apologize to you. I'll be a man because I had no reason to downplay the situation or anything like that. But it was a joke taken out of context, a bad joke. I apologize. The ring that you got her was still a beautiful ring, you know, but I should have never inserted that comment into that conversation. Salvador said, I appreciate that. For the sake of this, for the sake of you guys' marriage, I forgive you, dude. Easy, quick, yeah. Mal said that was a very, very hard situation to be in conversation. It was the first time seeing everybody and literally coming from the pods after all that emotional ass like interaction. And then not having any chance to like talk or just be like, hey, how are you feeling? Ayana face is stone. I was going into it extremely nervous and anxious because I knew that this was going to be a conversation that had to happen. I definitely apologize to Ayana because that conversation went on longer than it should have. Ayana is stone faced. Unfortunately, I took a couple of shots before that because I was nervous as shit. Salvador said, I still think it was inappropriate to have when we were on our honeymoon. What kind of investment is that in our relationship? Mallory said I was fully invested in my choice and decision. I just felt like after the emotional conversation we had, we never really got to talk. Jerry said it was a very inappropriate conversation that could have been tailored in a different way, and I own that. Salvador said, I want to serve any pot. I'll give it an honest shot. And she's like, I know. She said, it's safe to say a lot happened in Mexico. Sure enough did. But eventually, the 6 engaged couples left for the getaway. Shane always looks like he's about to take off. Like he's in, like he be like So they're gonna check in with one of the people that made it to the altar, Nick and Danielle. Danielle, oh, woo, she touched, y'all. They say I don't think I need to ask y'all still married because y'all already coordinating, and look, and Jared and Ayana are coordinating. Oh, Deputy said you want to join. She want to join and throw up a little bit because she wearing blue. Anyways, Danielle said it's been crazy because I think the pressure of saying I do or I don't had us like a pressure cooker where we were constantly getting in these disagreements, where we were just really trying to figure out whether or not it would work. In real life, they had some disagreements that ended up being non-existent. Sorry, y'all. I'm doing some online shopping. Anyway, yeah, they argued a lot, but they're saying they need to compromise before it boil over. Vanessa is talking about as long as the argument is worth it, it could be positive. Nick says it really helped them with their communication to listen more and talk less. And one of his faults is that he's a fixer. So when there's a problem, I'm like, okay, I go into fix mode. This is something we learned in couples therapy together. I go into fix mode. I want to fix it. She just wants me to understand she's feeling this way, not to fix it. So did you, Danielle, moving with Nick in his place? She's like, yep. Oh, they talking about Danielle turning up. She said Nick dances on tables more than she does. He said, I don't mind dancing on tables. I just don't want broken tables. I buy very cheap furniture. That's my bad. That's what Danielle said. Let's look at the home video from the new Thompson video. So they're going to be the it couple. They're trying to be like, what the heck was the name of that other couple with the beautiful sister and very fine scientist? I just lost their dang on name. Okay, there's the new spot. Oh, they're them damn cats. Salvador smiling. He looking like so sad, like I wanted this with fake Jennifer Lopez, and I wanted us to be with our ukulele. Sal, I think you went on there for TV because you wanted to be on the next Encanto. You wanted to be on freaking what the hell the name of the other movie is where they singing in Spanish. You wanted to be on TV with your damn ukulele. You need to stop because that girl showed up. The one you had been smashing before you went into the process. You need to stop. Salvador. I'm talking to you, Salvador. Like Jesse would call. Yeah, all that. You wanted to be on TV. Back to Nick and Danielle boring ass real quick. Oh, they got some new costumes, dresses, ranch dressing. Okay, I see you. Oh, look at their little marriage picture. That's so cute. They picture with their dogs and cat. That's cute. Super cute, Nick and Danielle. Look at Ayana and Jared looking at it. Hold on, how far are we into this reunion? We looking at cats and dogs. They better get to the good shit. Come on. Okay, the ring. Look, they hugged up. Look, crazy met crazy and they fell in love. When I'm gonna meet my crazy counterpart, y'all? Okay, I'm just playing. Or am I? Aw, they so cute. Now they want to move on to the couple who gave us some great music. Yeah, I knew they're gonna highlight Salvador and that damn ukulele, y'all. Nick said that was some great music we saw through the show. Why y'all lying to this man? Why? So you two said no at the altar, but it looked like at the end, when you came out, there was a chat about potentially seeing each other and seeing if there's something there. Seeing if you guys would continue the relationship. Did it happen? Oh, yeah, we met for coffee. We chatted. But I think at the end of the day, I don't know, the connection just wasn't really, y'all know damn well y'all weren't going to connect. Y'all wasn't attracted. And we kind of just understood maybe it didn't make sense to continue on. See, Nick said, you two were the hardest for me to figure out. Behind the scenes, and I was able to kind of wrap my head around it. Y'all weren't attracted, but you smashed. You talking about plan B, so you let them hit it raw. Oh, Salvador said there are things that happen. I don't feel like saying now because it doesn't even matter. Really, you don't want to talk about that chick that showed up. Call it karma, call it whatever. But it's just like, I just don't think it's necessary to say. Mallory said we shared a really strong connection because of this experiment, but we're very different. Like, I think in the way that we really communicated or operated, a lot of times disagreements because we weren't communicating necessarily the right way. Salvador took a deep breath. So did I. And that's kind of really, yeah. She said, can I just say, Mal, and I'll put it this way. There were many times that I also felt unheard. In our arguments, and I'll keep that to ourselves. But our arguments, I felt unheard. Mallory said, I'm really sorry I made you feel that way. That was never. And he said, I forgive you because, again, it's in the past. Here comes shake ass. May I 2 things. Number 1, your situation with Jared. That whole situation, the aftermath of that, I think it was an uncomfortable thing. Number 2, your ex-girlfriend, I think, in your shoes, that's going to sour relationship. Shake, why the hell you did that? Once you shattered the vase, you can't put it back together. Shake, who are you to provide that reason? Natalie said, you don't have insight. So I'm just saying my opinion. It wasn't my girlfriend either, whatever it was, whether it was on purpose or not. Shake, he doesn't want to air out dirty laundry. Why do you feel the need to come in and say that? Because we're at a reunion. We're not supposed to do anything. The point is for us to tell our stories, what we thought watching the show, not for you to, I'm completely wrong. I had nothing to do with those 2 things then. Oh, Jared said, you're just trying to break people down. You're just trying to I'm trying to put out in the open because what I've seen, he said, shut up, Shane. There's a bunch of people that were so real in the beginning, turn fake as fuck as we've gone through this. Oh, Jared said, you've been the fakest. And Shake said, I'm the realest. And he said, don't start that. I say facts. I keep 100, bro. You're the fakest. I've always kept 100. Come on, dog. Don't do that. Yeah, we could do that because you're not. You're not. You came on here for all the wrong reasons. And you know that everybody can see through how shallow you are. Scott, you think so? Yeah. He's like, yeah, I think so. Absolutely. Oh, Jared, like you about to, bro, we all have our preferences. I want to apologize for that. Okay. I'll be honest about what those things are. Joke. It's like, let's get back on track. Shall we? Is he supposed to be running the show? Since we're a business of shake, no, let's move on. Business of shake. Now let's move on to the next couple. The whole point of Love is Brown is to fall in love with someone based on who they are on the inside. A task not everyone seems to understand. And yes, I'm looking at you, Shake. Ooh. Ooh, ooh. And Shake said, yeah, let's take a look back. Shake said, I love buying clothes for girls. What's your size? I'm like, what the fuck? Shake like, do you like working out? Not a huge fan. I get along with individuals who do work out. Ooh, talk to the thick chick. If I were at a music festival, would I be able to put you on a guy's shoulders? And Deputy's like, yeah. Ooh, he said, yeah, but will I have trouble picking you up? Oh, so Shake's like, she's the number 1 hype girl, so fucking fun, but I'm not physically attracted to her. It's like I'm feeling like I'm with my aunt or something. Jared laughed, and they like, don't laugh at that. Tell Shane, I feel like I'm with a family member sometimes. So Shane, right out the gate, I think the question I have to ask is, and probably a lot of people are wondering, why did you do Love is Blind? He said, I'll put it to you like this. Listen, I know I'm not the most liked person on this show, but I'm going to keep it real with myself. This is my chance to talk, so if I may. It's not that different than making a huge purchase. Maybe if I may, no, you may. I had to giggle because it's marriage and a purchase. Okay. Marriage, think of it as the ultimate purchase, then, if you will. The ultimate commitment, if you will. Before you make this type of commitment, Deputy's laughing. I feel like you have to read the fine print on that. So when you're in a situation where the stakes are so big, I want to make sure that this thing works. I wanted more than anything for this thing to work. And for me, that meant I knew at least a certain physical body type to get me in the ballpark. I'm not talking about she has to be 5'2", this. I'm talking about I want this shit to work. If I were to marry somebody and, there was a big weight discrepancy, Shake is a douche. It would be very hard for me to get past that. When I'm in a situation like that, I want to get past that. Deputy's laughing. I was ready to get deep. I wanted to know if we're going to do this. I'm going to make sure I do everything in my power to ask questions. Deputy's dying laughing. I want this shit to work. Nobody wanted it as bad as me. Okay. Despite what you may think. Everybody, Danielle put her head down because it's bull. Vanessa, I think you were on the wrong show. There are shows that are based on looks. And if they have a connection. But what I'm saying is you need to open your heart to a bigger picture. Because at the end of the day, what if she's man go to accident? What if she gains weight? What if she loses hair, her arms? Are you not gonna love her anymore? He said that's different. Vanessa, I hope to God if I'm mango, not gonna fucking wood that this man stands by my side. Oh, Vanessa going off. And Shake said, I know he would because he loves you. So the problem that I have, Shake, is that you sat there and berated every single one of these women physically and then went on through the process with this beautiful soul over here. She's a beautiful soul because you wanted someone you wanted to fuck. He said, I didn't even do that. That's the point. If you think that's my goal, you're very wrong. You just said that, babe. No, I didn't. You just twisted that around. I did. I'm sorry. I heated. Let me change the subject. Well, ladies, it's still on you, babe. You just changed the subject. Were you not? What were you looking for? It sounds like you wanted a conventional dating world. No, it's not. What were you missing in the conventional dating world that you felt like you can find here? Oh, I want an emotional connection. Everything that we know the show is supposed to do. But there's a certain criteria that goes beyond emotional connection. Why is he here? This show establishes love is not purely blind to me. Great, but that's why I said you're on the wrong dating show. He said I wanted to be partially blind. I wanted to be love is blurry, love is blurry. He's just being a douche on the show. Get Netflix on. I'm calling you and say, my friend, this show is Love is Blind. I actually watched this. I thought I started to see a change. He said there was. I really did. There's no change. Actually, I was like, oh shit, he's actually looking inward. Is he really seeing maybe his faults were and wanted and what he wanted and what he needed? I'm doubling down. Oh, they say you were lying during the middle of the show. We all have our physical preferences. Every woman here is beautiful. I think you're all beautiful. I'm not attracted to all of you. Unfortunately, the one I'm attracted to is a Vanessa. Oh my gosh. I wish I wasn't. Look, Nick look like he about to put hands with it. I've done nothing but Rachel. That's a messed up relationship. That's what I'm saying. So let's be better. You don't choose. It's nature, baby. We're animals. No, you treat animals. We're human beings. Oh shit. We're all still animals. Nick, I can see now why you don't. Oh. Extremely uncomfortable right now. And Chick was like, that was fucked up. I said, that's my man right there. The vet community, you're doing it to yourself, dude. You're digging the biggest hole. The vet community is not going to like that. I love a vet as much as the next guy, but I don't like people who treat human beings like you do. Nick Lachey going, oh, it's wrong. So you all love Deputy. I saw that on the show. We all felt that. What was it like for you guys to watch her go through this and be here now with her and Shake? How are you feeling? Shake, one thing I think you would seriously benefit from, this Ayana talking, seeing a psychologist and figuring out some coping skills to navigate relationships as a narcissist, because I think you're going to continue to damage relationships. Danielle, not even relationships, just people in general. Deputy is hands down the most amazing person inside out. Danielle saying that. That's why I kind of butt heads with Shake. It's like, out of all the people in the entire world, she doesn't deserve that. I mean, look at her. She looks like a goddamn queen right now, I think. I got it. She's better on the inside than she looks on the outside. I actually think his mom said it best. Is what you're saying. I give your mom props on that. She said I'm taking her side. She's amazing. She doesn't even deserve a 0.5% to someone to treat her 0.5%. Oh, he said God is villain. God is. He's like, it's not about characters. This is a person. For you guys, it's for your entertainment. Oh. Deputy said it's okay not to be physically attracted. Guess what? There's a million other people out there. It's the way you go about life. It's how you do it and how you say it. It's extremely disrespectful. It's degrading to women. And I'm so happy for every single person sitting on the couch today because they have my back and they call you out. Beyond what was shown, we know about the things that you said. Yeah, that was watered down. Oh, that's the watered down version of the things you said about. Oh, Lord, Shake, what you said? I don't understand how you don't feel remorse. Deputy, like, honestly, look at how you're speaking. Every single person here had an issue with you. That says a lot about your character. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay. That's what it's turned into. It's not turning into it. It's a reality check for you. You lack self-awareness to even know what you're doing something wrong. It's flabbergasting to me. The fact that I ever respected you as a person, I'm mind blown. Ooh. Now I brought you to my family and I've never done that. For my dad and mom to sit there and watch you say disgusting fucking things about me is so degrading. So I was like, you about to have a moment. And there's a way to say, oh, I'm not physically attracted to her. Guess what? Your aunt is probably dope as fuck. and he's like, she is absolutely. Nick is saying it's a complete lack of contrition. You absolutely don't. The way you're acting, the way you're thinking, you think nothing's wrong with that. That is fine. That is completely conscious decision on your part, I guess. But there's nothing wrong with saying it didn't work out. That's why it's an experiment. It's just the way you go about it. He said, Shake said, that's fine. Deputy, did you see more watching the show? Did you know the stuff about your girlfriends, what was happening behind your back? Were you not aware? Were you sensing it? But it wasn't as bad until you watched it. And you were like, oh my God. Yeah, definitely. I heard from the girls and Shane and Jared. They all warned me, and this is not the person you should marry. Okay. Because he's talking about you this way behind your back. Oh, the dudes actually. Okay. Thank you, dudes, for actually protecting a woman because there aren't many that do. She said, listen, I don't give a fuck if you're physically attracted to me, but if you care about somebody and you're supposed to be their friend, you don't disrespect them on national fucking TV. And that's the most hurtful part. I do not care if he's attracted to me. Don't care. Vanessa said that was a watered down version. Shakes, I could have handled it differently. I agree. You just don't know how to speak, especially to women. That's what Deputy said. That's all I'm going to say. She want to come across that chair. She want to cry. He look angry. Vanessa, we wish the best for you guys, and we know you won't have trouble finding love. I hope you will continue to figure it out. And they're hugging and kissing. We're moving on now to Kyle and Shayna. Bringing it back around. Why? This was an interesting one because obviously we talked about it at the top of the show with the proposal. But I felt like Shayna was kind of trying to tell you, Kyle at the reveal, I don't know if we should move on with this. Sorry, y'all. They supposed to come fixing my AC. I'm in Florida. It's hot. I'm sorry, y'all. Anyways, Kyle is like, you convinced her to convince the process. Was it a mutual agreement? He's like, yeah, I mean, I wanted to follow through with the experiment. Like we all did. Anyways, that's why you hear the fan floating in the background and my moon chimes going because I have my AC broke, y'all. Anyways, he said we bonded. Nobody really got to see that. So in that moment, I was caught off guard when you weren't sure after we met. You know, and I walked away and you said, this is going to be tough. And I said, I have some hope. So it bothered me a little bit. Left me a little uncertain. I thought it was perfect until that day. I didn't know about the whole Shane scenario. So I was caught off guard when I saw it for the first time, definitely. I'm curious, why do you think Shannon wanted to break off the engagement? Do you think it was a Shane scenario or something else? He said, I don't know. I wish I knew. I would love to know. I want to know why you had hesitation. Was it more than the religion, or was it strictly religion? Was it Shane? Was it how I looked? She said, no, I had reservations before I even met you. I had nothing to do with your looks. I think you're a very handsome person. It was one of those things. She did say she wanted her dude with a splash of ugly. She did. I thought for a second, I've been with a Christian before. It didn't work. Right? So I'm like, I was having this internal struggle with, do I give this an open mind just because they're Christian? Doesn't mean they're a good person. I felt like you were a good person. So I was like, do I give it a shot? It was an internal struggle for me. At the end of the day, long story short, it was religion for sure. I don't want to use the word religion. It was more like my relationship with God. I hear you, girl. You ain't want to get with a heathen, but that's all. I didn't want to force you into that. I would be certain from the beginning, you should have never said yes to me. I should have never said yes. You wasted my time. It was people pleasing moment. It was a people pleasing moment. I should have never said yes to you. I own that. I'm very sorry that I said yes. I should have never said yes. She keep telling you she should have never said yes. What part of that don't you understand? Kyle hurt. It's just, I mean, it was just a big waste of time, but I have a huge regret. Shane just is like, Shane shifting like when them little kids you put in a corner and they ready to get out of damn timeout. Oh, he said he should have followed up with Depty because I should have tried harder for you. Oh my God. I mean, I love her so much. She's the best. I wish I saw what was right in front of me. So Kyle got a thing for Depty. He said, I do have my biggest regret. I'm sorry. Depty's amazing. She is. I love her. She's the best. Shake said, I would love between you two. Yeah, it pisses me off because you wasted such a good opportunity. Oh, not true because now you have it. What, Shake? If you don't shut your suit down? He said, happy to facilitate. Facilitate these damn nuts. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm upset. Probably the most shocking wedding day rejection was Natalie and Shane. So y'all saw that there was a big blow up fight the night before your wedding that ultimately ended the engagement. It was after a lot of drinking at the bachelorette party. What happened? What happened the night you guys want to share that ended this? Oh, they both look nervous. Well, Shane be looking. They said it was obviously drinking. You know, you're getting married that night. It's like kind of moment like, oh shit, like he's like, I don't know. Shane don't know nothing, y'all. I still wish it didn't go down that way. I mean, trust me, there's not a day I don't think about that night and go over it in my head. Definitely 100%. Yeah. Did you say things that you didn't want to say? He like, yeah, of course. But it was how you felt. He said, no, not really. It was an emotional reaction. Some of the words that were that way. Again, I have to learn to express it better than being so reactive. I'm very well. I've seen that. I have to get better at not being so reactive to certain situations. How's the night for you, Natalie? Shane face. I mean, it sucks because I feel like the night changed everything. She hit him with the shoulders. I don't know. Natalie said, I don't know. I truly believe that he is remorseful for her. He's apologizing for her many times. And tears coming when you be in your feelings, you be hurt for that night. And I don't think he meant those words. Have you ever said something to somebody that you know hurt their feelings and you didn't mean it? Let me know. Leave it in the comments. I'm so sudden in the show. I'm not even like saying what you guys feel. Let me know what you think of the reunion. Said it sounds stupid that the fight changed everything, but I think it just for us. I'm like, when it happened, I'm like, wow, we have big issues to work through. Maybe we're not ready for marriage. I think before that night, we were like 100% going to say yes and be married. So it's hard knowing that night happened. Shakefoot is going. He's angry. Shake is upset. You're trash, Shake. You're trash. Maybe you can marry one of those damn pets at your vet. Maybe we do that. Anyways, I'm not saying you can't work through problems, but I think that was a big one, the way we communicate with each other. Can I say something? Please, actually, Shane is saying that I'm expressing remorse. I'm taking accountability for that night, what happened. But I mean, there was a reason also why I got to that point too. Shayna's face. You're kind of pushing under the rug. The words that I used, they didn't come out of nowhere. Okay, you haven't apologized for your side of the story. You haven't owned up to anything, so it was 100% my fault. Ooh, uh-oh. I take most of the blame, yes, but you're sitting there saying, I this, I that. It's like, I'm not putting the blame on you by any means. Now, he said, I understand that the anger came out from somewhere. Obviously, something I've done to you, or I pushed you to that point. I don't want to seem like I'm just blaming it on you. And those words came out of nowhere. I know that it came from a place of you being frustrated with me, or you feeling me making you feel like you weren't enough. Yep, because his love is words of affirmation. I don't feel bad for any. You don't feel bad. He's like, it's so tough. It's like he don't feel like she's remorseful for what she did. I feel like we talked about this because we have. I obviously apologize for making you feel like you weren't good enough. She crying. I feel like you were more than enough. Oh, she's crying. Shane is tweaking for love. She says sorry. Shane, what do you think right now? He said, I'm just fucking sad. I've been there when you just sad. What are you sad about? You sad about that night, or that you feel like you're being pinpointed as the reason? He's like, no. She said that's the stuff I want to hear too. It's accountability for both of us. I understand that it's mostly my fault. But I'm not going to be taken out as the bad guy of every situation that happened. I'm owning up to the things I did wrong. I admit that I'm a human being and I made mistakes, but like, I don't think our situation, there's a good guy or a bad guy. I know that's what I want you to say. Ooh, that's what I want you to say, because what you said earlier was like, those words, I know you didn't mean it. You were angry, this and that. Yes, but I didn't say I was a good guy. I want you to say those kind of things. Nickel, I'm going to ask, one of you may not be able to answer. Due to you in talking about that night and reliving it, not just that night, but the entire experience together, do you feel like you may have missed the chance at being really happy? Was that night the only thing that derailed what to that point felt like you really, really had a kind of well-oiled machine, if you will? It may be indicative of things that have been building up. I'm not suggesting, I'm just curious. Regret's a really, really powerful thing. Do you think, man, we were so close, we could have, it was within our grasp? Did that night completely derail it? Shane is yeah. So it's the first time you guys have seen each other since your wedding? Oh, now we said we gave it another shot after our wedding day. And so you dated again? Yeah, we dated again. Without pressures. We just wanted to see, how it would work out. It was too fresh. Shane said it was too fresh at the time, yeah. I will say for me, I held on to that fight for so long. I kind of held it against you and that. And I think it didn't allow us to I couldn't get myself to move on from it, if that makes sense. What do you guys think? Now that obviously everyone I think Jared, you were the one that was like, oh, for sure. Shane and Natalie and everyone kind of echoed that. What do all you being on the outside, looking in, being there for them, seeing them go through this, how do you feel about their journey? Even right now, I'm getting emotional. You can still feel the love that's there. And Shane, Nick said, I think me and Shane got pretty close. We're still friends today. I know despite what happened, he was in love with you. Hands down. Okay. And vice versa, It breaks my heart that they said no. Now y'all say, yeah, Nick T. I hope whatever you two do, you do find happiness. You know, if it's with each other, we're there for you. Does it feel good to hear people say how much they enjoyed your relationship? That's the other Nick. And Shay said, of course, it feels fantastic. It's seriously much appreciated. And Shane is just over there. Did they smile? The heightened season 2 that you and Shayna. Here's the deal. I'm not getting it. Oh, Shay said, here's the deal. I'm not getting to that conversation. I'm going to say, I'm sorry. If you've seen each other before today. Uh-oh. Trying to say, Shay said, I don't know why he's reacting that way. Shay, no, I'm not reacting that way. It's like, it was a question. We talked about how you guys try to date. Have you guys tried to date again? This is a reunion. What happened? Since I do, I don't. People just want to know. They're investing in your growth personally, Shane. And your growth, Shayna. How you guys managed to come out on this on the other end. Are you comfortable talking about that? It was literally the last thing I was going to say before I move on to Ayana. I don't have to talk about it. I'll ask Shayna. Hey, girl. He said, there's nothing. We're just friends. There's nothing ever romantic afterwards. I don't know if he's uncomfortable. I don't want to talk. It's like taken away from your and Shane's story. Yeah, there was nothing. Nick says just emotional. Says totally get it. The way he reacted, that was a mess. All right, guys. Now on to a couple who both said yes. Jared and Ayana, yes. Married life has been fun. It's been a roller coaster. And I was like, yeah, honestly, if anybody says marriage is easy, boy, it's not. I did it for a long time. But we've learned a lot and grown a lot since we first said I do. And I wouldn't ride this roller coaster with anyone else than this woman right here. She smiled. For me, it's like a mirror. There are things that I believe that I would be able to handle better or react better. I'm like, no, I'm healed in this situation. But I realize there's still some things that I need to work on, which is really hard for me to come to terms with. I'm like, no, I said I'm better. But yeah, it's been hard. It's been really rewarding too. Just for myself individually and then us as a couple. Do you agree that as soon as the show was over, you just thrown into the real world? You're like, okay, we have to reassess. Jerry said, I realized that things that I was doing prior to being married, yeah, like turning up, some of those things try to creep back into the marriage. I had to shock myself again and say, these things are not okay. Okay, foolishness. Just being able to see self-awareness and kind of work on that. And then so that, again, I'm the best person for myself and for her in the betterment of our relationship. I was going to ask about that. A lot was made up to the marriage. Taco Tuesday, different lifestyles. You going out all the time. You liking to stay home and read a book. I was curious how those lifestyles merge into a more laid back. Jared is caressing that leg. Conservative lifestyle. I know it has. One thing I will say, we've been finding our balance. We're hyper aware of the fact that we are very different. He's extremely extroverted. I'm like, please stay away from me. So we've been finding I think this will always be something that we'll have to deal with because we're so different. But we have such similar values and similar goals. So it's just been a compromise ultimately. Yeah, you got to compromise in your marriage. I've been staying out, going out more. So we're just constantly juggling. I like to give her the opportunity to say no. That's what I've learned from my friends, that you give them an opportunity to say no is better versus just going. She said, very smart. Like, you're learning. I love it. Vanessa said, another thing I noticed about the show was that you guys were so sweet and intimate, but never going that extra amount until wedding day. You were waiting till the wedding day? Yeah, right. You kept your promise. Ayana giggling. They smashed before they got married. So the thing about it was, so what had happened was, I was very protective of that aspect of our relationship. And I wanted to reveal that when I wanted to reveal that. But if I'm honest, like, Ooh, they had sex in middle school. I knew it because the way he was caressing and they was in the shower. It was just one time. And they was in the shower and he was giving massages. I was like, he finna hit that. And he big and fine. And she cute and pretty. I knew, ooh, the way she was wrapping her legs around him in the pool. I just got excited thinking about it, y'all. I just got excited. Anyways, Deputy said I met. So back to the, let me get mature. Serious. Okay. Shake said the show was wrong for me. I have my own work values. I've got to work on that. That's all. Sal, you good over there? He said, yes, sincerely. Final thoughts. I'm really happy for Nick and Danielle. Jared and Ayana, sincerely. It's really hard to do what you guys did. To mutually put the work in and learn how to jump through those hurdles that you need to accomplish what you guys did. And I really admire the both of y'all, both couples. He said, thank you, Sal. It's nice, and Mallory says it's nice to see that this actually works. This is the second season and people got married and it works. And it's for real. Mm-hmm. So Mallory said it gives hope to all of us who didn't, and everyone is watching. Said thanks again, everybody, for being here first off and your honesty, being vulnerable. We appreciate you guys doing all that. Sadly, this reunion is almost coming to an end. Before we go, we did have one final question to the group. How do you know when someone is actually the one? For me personally, it was when both emotions and my logic aligned. Okay. Yep. When the heart and the mind go together. Love is Blind. You both know. Netflix about to have a new show called The Ultimatum. One's ready to be married and the other one isn't. And once a lifetime opportunity, they put these couples together to the ultimate test. This ain't nothing but put a ring on it. Oh, they done stole y'all idea, y'all, allegedly. Oh. Each person will be compatible with multiple partners. They'll each select one new partner to move in for 3 weeks. Oh, and the switch. They did the switch. 7 year itch. Shane's face is big and wide open. At the end of the experiment, they'll have to decide if they want to marry the person they arrived with or split forever. Or maybe they actually met somebody else that's a better fit. Now, most people don't actually know this, but at one point in our relationship, Vanessa actually gave me an ultimatum. We've been dating for 5. She said we're dating for 5 years. I was turning 30. He wanted kids. So the next actual step was what we are doing. So it was an ultimatum. Yeah, she's like, yeah, okay. Oh, they're doing a sneak peek. So they done took freaking put a ring on it and done took it on Netflix so where they could cuss and act a donkey. Ooh, the black couple cute. They all look good, but the ultimatum, y'all. I'm gonna review that. That's my type of shit. Okay, the couples are cute. Let's see. I see a couple. Okay. Oh wait. Ooh, big fine. Who that is? Either get married or split forever. So Nick Lachey and Vanessa Lachey, they say finna get this coins, that money. They done took all these dating shows and threw it into one shenanigans. Ooh, who's that? She ain't cute. Oh, wow. The part I like about Netflix, real talk, is because I cuss a little bit, they cuss a little bit, and it makes it feel more real. Not saying you got to be cut to cuss to be real, but it allows for the emotions to go crazier. I'm starting to feel, I don't know if you guys have ever seen that movie Stay Tuned, where they putting anything on damn TV to entertain us. That's how I feel. That's where I feel the pandemic took us. The panoramic. All right. Nice sneak preview. Love is Blind season 2 in the book. Okay, let me quickly say what I feel about. Oh, look at Jared kissing Ayana. Oh, they're giving Deputy a hug. All right, y'all. That was the end. What did I think? There was so much that happened. Okay, Shake tried to make the Shake show. He knew he ain't took his ass on here to Love Is Blind, and they should have never even let him go that damn far with all them the crazy ways he was trying people. But it looked like a lot of them dudes wanted to put hands on his ass because he was talking to everybody extra crazy, especially Kyle. But that makes sense because Kyle actually had feelings for Depty, and Depty chose Shake, and Kyle chose Shayna in that face. And so that was foolishness. Shane lost his crap when they asked him about Shayna. That make it seem like he still feels some type of way, and Shayna picked up on that. And then he pretty much put Natalie on blast. Like, the reason I said I hated you and you were the worst thing that happened to me because you did something and you trying to play victim. I love that Ayanna and Jared are still working strong. I mean, them playing that video of him and Mallory, boy, I would have wanted to come through the TV. If it was me, I give it to you, Ayanna. You real calm, cool, and collected. And cute. They smashed. I knew they smashed. I knew. It's crazy that Kyle and Natalie saw when Shane and Shayna was having a whole moment and they felt the type of way. And Kanto, aka Salvador, he got his feelings about Mallory and Jared when he had a whole ex bitch, young cousin, that showed up to the shit to rent shop at his sister's house. Am I missing anybody? And Nick and Danielle and they damn dog. And that was the reunion, y'all. It was good. It gave what it was supposed to give. I enjoyed myself. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments. Thank you for riding with me, coming and jumping on my channel. Let me know if there's anything you want to watch. It looks like we got a new show called The Ultimatum that's gonna give what it's supposed to give too. So I appreciate you coming, chilling with me. Love who loves you. I want everything that God has for you, and sending you lots of loves and kisses your way. The Sepia Scholar is out. Let me get this AC fixed, y'all. It's hot.